Oh, Tucker! How about that one?
That's our new leaders right there.
Big Silly!
University of Montevallo, 24-96. National champions, Wallace State, Briar and Clinton. What's up, everybody? Welcome in for another new episode of the Rapala We Are Collegiate Bass Podcast. The staff's back in the office. Just wrapped up the 18th BoatUS Collegiate Bass Fishing Championship presented by Bass Pro Shops. Joining us today are Tucker Smith and Hayden Marbut from second-ranked Auburn University, winners of that event. Finished in first place, two-day total weight of 35-24. Tucker, real quick, man, you've been a part of a lot of big victories, awesome momentum through college, and then on the professional side as well as you pursue that career. Where does this rank amongst some of the biggest accomplishments that you've had in your young fishing career?
I would say it's definitely one of the biggest tournament wins that, I've ever been able to achieve for sure, especially through high school. Winning a national championship in high school was something that was crazy to me. And then I've always wanted to win something in college, like, a national championship in college too. So to be able to do that with Hayden and to be able to, both of us actually win a national championship in high school and college together, I think there's not many people in the world that can say they've done that in fishing. So it's really special.
Yeah, that's awesome, Hayden. We'll ask you too, man, kind of coming off of it now. We're almost a week removed. What are the emotions like? Has it really set in yet to have achieved what y'all have on a national scale to win a national championship like this?
Yeah, I don't know if it's set in quite yet. It's still pretty crazy, It's just something that you put so much time and effort into, and you dream about it all the time, and you always try to put yourself in those positions to be able to win a big title like that, but, it doesn't always work out. For it to work out last week like it did, it was a true blessing.
Let's talk about some of the details now. Y'all got off to a hot start on the first day, 21.06, had y'all in first place by about 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, I believe. Had a big bass just under 6 for y'all's 5-fish limit there. So take that 5-pounder out. All the other fish weighed about 3-4 pounds. So y'all catching good quality size fish. Tucker, talk a little bit about the spots or maybe the areas that y'all were fishing that helped contribute to the day one leading bag.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable first day. We caught a bunch of good fish, and basically we noticed that there was a herring spawn going on main points and stuff like that, in shoals and flats, and we were able to see those herring using our forward-facing sonar, and we could tell that they were spawning, and you could see the fish around those herring in the mornings, and some would be blowing up on them, and some would be, chasing them underwater. So we were able to see those fish and actually cast a topwater when they would come up and start schooling on them, and then we were able to throw a drop shot and a jig and some other stuff like that when we were able to see them under the water chasing bait too. So we kind of ran those places early off in the day, and by about 9 o'clock we were catching 3.5 pounders that we were throwing back. So we just had to kind of go around and start practicing for the next day.
It's always a pretty good spot to be in when you're at a national championship, and on the first day of competition, you can go searching for the next day. They all had a good pattern going there for sure. We're going to talk a little bit more about that on our website, collegiatebasschampionship.com. Later this week, we'll have a Bass Pro Shops Top Gear highlighting all the equipment y'all used to fish the drop shot, jig, and topwater baits that ended up being the winning techniques for the event. Hayden, listen to the anglers across the stage talking about the herring bite, something that's pretty specific to that part of the country over there in South Carolina. It's not something that everybody's really familiar with. What is it that makes it so difficult, or maybe what is it that y'all were able to key on that helped y'all find that success? Because there's a lot of anglers out of that 200 boat field that probably might not have even been able to get a bite fishing the herring bite and went a totally different route, but you guys could key on it and ended up capitalizing on it for a victory.
Yeah, for sure. Just like the whole herring bite in general, it's different than anything else you traditionally really do around where we're from and most other places. It's kind of a deal where you got to run as many places as you can with fish, and you make a couple casts, you pull the trolling motor up and go. It's really high speed. You're just running and gunning all day, really.
that running gunning there, let's talk about on day 2. Did that kind of get y'all's wheels spinning a little bit because things start to play out? You weighed in a little, almost 7 pounds less than you did on the first day, so obviously not as good of a bite, not as good of fish coming in the boat on the final day of competition. Was there any element to the way y'all were running that pattern, Tucker, that y'all kind of, things got a little weird, y'all maybe spun out a little bit, or were y'all able to keep it together and know that if you got to that 35-pound mark for 2 days, you might have a shot to win?
No, we kept it together. It first thing in the morning, the wind was blowing about 17 miles an hour. So our places that we wanted to hit in the morning had some really big waves on them. We were taking water over the front, and so we couldn't really efficiently fish those places. So we decided to go to the side of the lake that was protected from the wind, and we fished a bunch of new water over there. Honestly, the day 2 of the tournament just ran all new water. And just kind of fished the moment, fished off the seat of our pants, and we just kind of bounced around and ended up catching some fish. But that was kind of the, as looking back at it now, it was a really smart move by us to go and do that, because we really didn't think we had enough, but seeing that wind and not being able to fish there, and then not trying to keep fishing there and spinning out, we were able to find new water and catch more fish. So it helped out in the long run.
So on day 2, like we just heard Tucker talk about, you guys are working your way along, trying to figure out how to win this event. Not sure if you have enough. Hayden, when y'all made it up to Green Pond Landing, where everything was taking place for takeoff and weigh-in that week, man, what were the nerves like as you get up to the scale? Because for those not familiar, at the BoatUS Collegiate Bass Fishing Championship presented by Bass Pro Shops, it's a year-end championship for the ACA. When we know who the leaders were on day 1, once they come up to the scales on day 2, we try to set them aside, build up a little bit of momentum for the final weigh-in to bring in the top 3 or 5 teams from day 1 to see if they could knock off the current leader at that point in time. And so you guys probably had to wait a little bit, see everybody else weigh in, and continue to know that, hey, did we do enough? Should we have done something different? How's it going to play out? What were the nerves like in those final 20, 30 minutes before you finally crossed the stage to weigh in?
Yeah, it was probably that last hour that we were sitting there once we checked in and everything. It was probably the most stressful hour of my life, just, because you've got a big target on your back leading after day 1 like we did, and we just knew everyone was after us, and that's kind of stressful to think about. And while we were fishing all day, we weren't too stressed. Like we had our minds occupied. We were just trying to catch the biggest 5 we could, and then when you're just sitting there and hearing people weigh in for an hour, it's extremely stressful.
For sure. Well, when the dust settled, man, y'all got the win. Had a total of 35-24 for 2 days to get the victory there. With that victory comes $5,000 cash, several other contingencies that you were able to capitalize on. Tucker, talk a little bit real quick, man. No entry fee event, something that we pride ourselves on here with the Association of Collegiate Anglers, to get out there, compete, and, depending on other contingencies and things like we wrote about on our website that you might be able to capitalize on, you could have entered this event for free. You get the $5,000 cash, turn that in with other contingencies that were up for grabs, and you guys are going home with a pretty nice payday.
Definitely. I would advise any college anglers out there that want to make some money and not spend a lot of money to go and fish y'all's tournaments, because the way that those tournaments are put together, it's unbelievable how everything's super organized, the payouts, the no entry fees, everything's amazing about the tournaments. And the locations that y'all go to as well are great locations. We're usually where we catch a lot of fish too, so it's always a fun event, and we're happy to be able to fish those events.
Appreciate that, man. We're talking with Tucker Smith and Hayden Marbut, Auburn University winners of the BoatUS Collegiate Bass Fishing Championship presented by Bass Pro Shops. Part of what you described right there is the reason why we come out and do what we do. My wife and I just welcomed our first child last week, so I wasn't there at Lake Hartwell for the event, and man, I missed it. We worked hard all season to get to this point, and I wasn't there, and got to see it all finish. I feel like I missed out on it, but we're catching up here. We're getting to talk about it, and that just kind of shows, as an organization, where our passions lie, and we'd love to be able to come out there and put on these events for you guys. Something else that we operate, the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. That's a year-long race, started June 1st of last year, just wrapped up following day 2 of that championship, where Auburn University finished in second. Hayden, tell me real quick, man, second place. I believe that throughout the year we probably have, a couple hundred teams are in points. So out of the several hundred active teams in the nation, you guys are finishing in second place. What's that say about the Auburn Bass team and the hard work, support, everything that goes into it from anglers, school, and sponsors?
Yeah, I know our team works really hard to do this every year, and I think that back-to-back second-place finishes in school of the year really shows the caliber of anglers that we have year in and year out. And it's really something that I think is super special about our team, too, is that, we're student-ran. We don't have a coach or anything. We're a student-ran organization, and to be able to compete year in and year out up there in the school of the year race, I think it really proves that our team is one of the best in the nation.
Next week, we'll talk with the winners, University of Montevallo. They achieved college bass fishing history, winning 3 straight titles. First team to ever win 3, much less win 3 in a row. And as we talk with them, we'll get to hear about that. But also, you guys, as we look at the standings, it was pretty much a 2-horse race for the last 6 months, maybe even a little longer. Y'all were holding tight there, gained a little bit of ground, lost a little bit. It's crazy when you look at the standings and you see, I'm watching the weigh-ins at our events and other events. You're like, man, Auburn's doing pretty good. They've got 2 or 3 teams in the top 20. They're going to get valuable points, and then bam, Montevallo is right there with 2 teams in the top 10. And y'all are just trading blows at major events for the last couple months. But that being said, y'all two stood apart from the rest. You look at the final tournament standing or final school of the year standings. I don't have them in front of me, but I know that I looked at it and was kind of analyzing it. And while Montevallo bested y'all by about 3,000 points, y'all had a second place to third place. That margin was another couple thousand. And so those top 1 and 2 places, man, right there spread apart from the rest, set yourselves apart from the field, says a lot about what goes into a year-long race. Catching fish, consistency, depth of the team, you name it, you guys definitely had it. Tucker, what has it been like to be a part of the Auburn University bass team for you, as you kind of learned from guys like Logan Parks and those in front of you that helped to build it to where it is now, and you're carrying that torch and got to see the success and be a part of it. Talk a little bit about what that means, what's gone into it for you and the team.
Yeah, it really means everything, being able to be a part of the Auburn team. All the guys on the team are like family to me, and I've been on the team now for 3 years, and it's been an amazing experience. All of us work together, and we all travel together and make sure everybody's doing good. And if anybody ever has any problems, we're always there for each other. So it's always been like a brotherhood. And, the guys that we fish against throughout the whole year, Montevallo and every other school, all those guys push us to do our best. And especially alumni like Logan Parks and other guys like that have really set up the team to where it is now. And we're truly blessed for all the people that have been able to contribute and put the team to where it is now.
Hayden, man, last question here. This one always kind of freaks me out a little bit because when we finish this season, literally the next week, the new season starts. We don't really get any time to sit back, look on it, reflect. It's right into the next one because I believe there's a school run event happening this weekend, June 3rd. So get over to collegiatebasschampionship.com. Check out the school of the year qualifying event details for points earning events, as those are already popping up on the schedule. But I have to ask, that season's in the books. Second place for you guys. We're turning the page to a new one already as we're in the next cycle for the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Man, what are y'all going to do? Is there anything different? Are you going to try and do some of the same stuff? Do you have any new anglers coming up that y'all are looking forward to bring on board? Just kind of give us a preview of what Auburn hopes to accomplish and what we can expect from them over the next 12 months as we gear up for a whole nother new season. And in 1 year, there's a chance we're talking to y'all as having won your first title as a school.
For sure, that's always the goal. And for next year, we kind of the same game plan we did this year. We're going to base it off of the new format and everything for school of the year. I saw that change. And then we've got a couple of guys leaving, but we've got a lot of guys staying, and we've also got some new guys coming in. So, I think we should be up there in the race next year, and we're looking forward to it.
That's awesome. Guys, man, we appreciate y'all's time here today. Congratulations again on the victory. Winners of the BoatUS Collegiate Bass Fishing Championship presented by Bass Pro Shops are Tucker Smith and Hayden Marbut, and Auburn University capitalizing and finishing their second place finish for the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Guys, best of luck in your fishing adventures coming up. Enjoy the summer, and look forward to seeing y'all again next school year.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having us.
Fishing is all about connecting with nature. Then grabbing nature by the lip and holding it up for a picture.
If you want to be here, it all starts here. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we have the widest selection of the quality brands you love to get you outdoors. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, our friendly, knowledgeable outfitters will help you find the right products for your next trip. Shop with confidence with our low price guarantee. Plus, club members save even more on great gear with exclusive member pricing. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, voted America's best outdoor retailer.